back, Juventinita, to the Juventinita, back to Black and White Podcast. My name's Daniel Anegro, and we're live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And today we're going to be going through the game that happened this early morning, Juve Lazio. And wow, was it an early morning? Just pulled the all-nighter, watched it, had brunch with the family in the morning. So I basically just zonked out, passed out right after, tried to get some semblance of a nap before having to get up again. And guys, I don't know what is going on in this Twitter platform. Literally censorship going on. Guys not being happy. I literally lost. I don't know how many followers. I really could give a shit, to be honest. What pisses me off is people that I've had on this podcast and that I've actually respected and literally, vouched for, had good conversations, thought that they somehow knew me, literally gone. So that's fine. You do you. I'll do me, and we'll be continuing. Like I said, as long as some people want to watch the show, we're gonna keep pumping it out. And we got some cool new things going on. I got some concepts for kind of like a Saturday night show and possibly a daily show that's gonna give you guys a lot quicker, response time and a lot shorter content and make it easier for you guys to just pick it up, watch it, get the main points, and that should be coming out. I think we're going to start trying a couple days, during this international break, just going over some of the news that comes out. Obviously, there's going to be injuries that we're going to have to talk about, and then again, maybe even talk about the Azzurri. Unfortunately, we have to go through this whole ordeal, but I'll ask that about. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But guys, thank you all for the support and who did stick around and all the messages saying don't worry about it. Even some people that I was kind of, even someone who I was, arguing with, going back and forth, bantering, whatever. And that's really all it is. Just respectful. And I mean, if I offended anyone, I really apologize. I didn't mean to. But again, I'm not taking back anything that I said. I think I was on point in most of the day. And, if you believe something one way, that's not something that should be defining people, because you don't know what my life is. I don't know what your life is. And really, it's just, it's, you only have 138 characters, and that's what I hate. I can't really pull my full, position out there and how I actually feel, and it gets misconstrued. And, Jake, I think, he was one of them. He said, I know you're taking a lot of heat. I'm like, hey, no worries, man. Like it's no hard feelings. So shout out Jake Vinchuguera. Thank you for always coming on the show, and we'll see him on the Sassuolo post game. But it's just sure, I'm gonna move that onto my I don't know why, maybe just because it popped up and I wanted to put it up on my podcast channel, and I just in the heat of the moment, that's what flows out. But guys, it is what it is. Again, I'm gonna thank you guys for coming. Please drop a like, subscribe if you guys enjoy YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that. Let us know where you're from. Let us know you're here, because again, I still don't know who's in that Virginia group. I really want to know. We're getting we're getting some numbers from Italy as well, which is awesome to see. Lots of numbers all over the world. Canada, coast to coast. So I appreciate that. Lots of places in the US. And we have someone obviously from New York. And I want to bring him on. He's a returning guest, but thanks, Anthony, for coming on again. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me again.
Pleasure, my pleasure. Man, it's been fun. I mean, you're always liking my stuff, so I got to show the love. And we're always kind of talking. And guys, I try and get back to all of you guys as much as I can, but it's just getting ridiculous. When conservatives try and say anything, for me, I'm looking at the big picture. I'm looking at, defending, the jobs and the ideals of the people of my province. Not to speak like a politician or anything, but it's just like, I can see what's going to happen, before it's happening. Like there's going to be some major changes, and for people to just be like, oh, well, how do you know? Who cares? This, that. It's just irresponsible, and it's just selfish, and it's just ignorant. I mean, like I've told you guys, I was laid off for 6 months in this year, and that's just with COVID. And then people are crying about, luggages and having to get their luggages checked when they have the chance to go work. Like, are you serious? Like, And then you're coming at me because I'm trying to worry about people that are their 40s and through 60s, that you think they're going to be easy. They're going to be able to just go back to school and train for other positions in this new high-tech world. Get off your high horse. And it's all from California. It's all from these places that, you know, they're sitting on stacks of cash, like that are hypocrites. I drive in San Francisco. You know, we're talking about, you know, let's end fracking. I'm on the 580. I look up at the hill and there's a tank farm all through the hill, man. So what is this nonsense? Stop. Let people have their opinions. Don't be censored. You don't like it, say your piece and that's it, or move on. Like, it's honestly a joke. It's honestly a joke, and I've moved on. Fine, Biden's won, but now I got to prepare myself, and my country has to worry about dealing with what's going to happen and the repercussions of our energy industry. How many people are going to get jobs? So, I mean, I don't want to rant about this, and, you know, I wanted to do, you know, kind of a separate podcast talking about this, but it seems to keep reoccurring, and, you know, I see people, you know, Nalesh, thankfully, he's doing all right. I got to shout him out because he was close to a near, you know, apparently he's been telling me he's okay now, he's doing good, but like, he was close to a near-death experience. People are shouting me out saying, you know, it was really nice what you did and stuff like that. And like, it's so total opposite. Like, it's like the people that are freaking out are all liberals, and literally everyone who's coming is a known conservative. It's ridiculous. Like, have some like sympathy for people. Have some. You know, this is going to be a big change, and now all of a sudden, after 4 years of shitting on someone, and making their life a misery to try and actually do stuff, and he still went through that in Trump, and now all of a sudden we're talking about unity, where people are in the streets celebrating
with no masks,
with no masks, and Italy shutting down again. Like, guys, like, grow up. Like, we have a lot of fucking, and then we got to start on this team as well. We got to get on this fucking team as well. That literally we have fans that are it's either Ronaldo simps, fucking people that aren't watching the fucking game, or people that literally are watching it in 144p. They can't even see what the fuck is going on, because I'm literally watching this game, and I watched it a second time thinking, you took a 25 minutes where the team is sitting on their ass and sitting back as a scapegoat because you don't want to get into fucking Pirlo's bad books, because you don't have the balls to blame the coach for what the display he put out there today. So, like, it's a bunch of things, and I'm sorry to rant, you know, at the beginning of this, Anthony, and we'll get you in there, but honestly, it's just ridiculous, man. Like, today was just a clusterfuck. And, you know, this is why I have this podcast, because, you know, one, I like to talk. Two, I can actually say what the hell I want to say. And, you know, three, like, I can rant about, like, just the nonsense. We're worrying about this shit now, and it's like, we have so many greater problems, and you're trying to make a guy that we're going to need even feel worse. Like, you don't think he's going to look at the media? Like, are you serious, guys? Like, honestly, it's fucking ridiculous. And actually, this is, you know, the election put a wrench in my actual plans, because I was supposed to have Anto on for 53, and we're on 56 now, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that spare episode, but literally, I was supposed to have him on, and I was literally going to rip the shit out of this club, out of these fans, these entitled fans that are like, because we've won 9 Scudetti, that means something. That they're scared to speak about the club, but they have no problem dusting up a kid that's trying to get back after what, 7 games, 7 freaking games, and you're acting like the whole season he's been shit. But then it's an Oscar. Oh no, he wasn't as good last year. Even though the Serie A gives him the fucking MVP. Give your head a shake, guys. Like, honestly, you know what? We're turning into the enemy. We used to shit on Real Madrid fans for giving their fucking legends and all this flack, and you guys are doing the exact same shit. This guy wanted to fucking die for this, to bleed for this. He decided to fucking stay last year after all that bullshit, and this is what you're coming out with? Are you serious? Are you actually serious? So let's get into the news, man. Obviously, Dybala's not going to go out on Argentina duty there in internet, and I think that could be really good for him. Hopefully, he's going to be, training, getting, into better fitness. Again, I still think that's lacking, and hopefully, he can get some like actual, confidence and maybe get his head out of this social media contract bullshit, which the club could have easily solved by just signing. And like, really? So again, then let's get into this whole. He doesn't deserve 15 million. Really, he doesn't deserve 15 million. Name someone who scored as much as he had in these past years. Name someone. 6 years in a row in Champions League consecutively scored. And we're talking about like he doesn't deserve, but we have no problem with paying Cristiano 31 million. We have no problem with that.
Net, and Rabiot and Ramsey. And upwards of
Ramsey,
what, 9 million?
Ramsey, $7.5 million, injured again. But you're telling, and people are saying, oh, he's a 7, 8, 9 million player. Are you fucked? Are you actually fucked? Like, this club is becoming an actual disgrace in itself, in terms of, the logo and accepting, giving what it means. I wrote a 3-piece thread on the 123rd anniversary of this club being founded, and you know what? Obviously, the fans are one way, and that statement is another way. It's completely different. No values, no history, no moral, no nothing with this. This club's dead. This club is dead, and now we got to worry about Ronaldo getting hurt as well. That's another thing. Literally, but now he's got to go to his Portuguese medical staff for whatever the hell that means. I guess he just he wants to see if he can get 6 goals against Lithuania or whoever the fuck they're playing this weekend to get those totals up. So that's why he's going. Chiesa with a thigh injury, he's not going to join the Azzurri. That's good. Rest up. Hopefully we can get him back. He's been doing phenomenal. I think there was a lot of good performances today, actually. And I thought there was a lot of mediocre performances today. And we're literally trending on the same pain points, on the same talking points that we've been going on. I literally called this against Spezia. The same thing happened against Ferencváros, even though we see these 4-1 wins and we're like, oh, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's good. We're Ronaldo scoring. Like, again, clueless. And then Pirlo keeps making the same mistakes.
He hasn't learned.
What have your thoughts been at? Because I know I haven't had you on for a while, but let's hear, like, what have you been thinking about this year, the past couple games? I want to let you talk because I've been going on for too long. I need a water break.
Yeah, I mean, overall, since the start of the Serie A, I mean, in general, I feel like there's only been a couple key players that have been having solid performances game in and game out. Like, you could pick out a couple of them, like Danilo, Ronaldo. You could have Bonucci again. Like, you still have the mediocre performances that we've been seeing from last season carrying on. So we've had some new upbringings, like Morata has been really good for us since he signed. Kulusevski, of course, like all these new players coming in. But Pirlo, again, still showing his inexperience throughout all these games. Today, we saw him make some more mistakes. Bernardeschi, in my opinion, I don't understand. Every time he's come on, he's made somewhat of a mistake. But Pirlo still is inconsistently bringing Bernardeschi on when we need to keep or draw a game. McKennie, I don't know McKennie today, even though he's been solid through his performance today, I don't think it was a good sub by Andrea Pirlo to bring in McKennie. Based on today's goal, I mean, I feel on the goal part of, even though you want to blame other players for today's goal, in defense, McKennie was one of those players standing next to Bonucci, not really helping Bonucci mark Caicedo in the goal.
Well, we'll get into that. Don't go too far, because guys, you're either gonna like it or you're gonna hate it, and I really don't give a shit. But we're gonna go through that goal, like, play by play, and again, it's literally, we look at when they made the substitutions, and I think you made a good point. I don't necessarily give McKennie a fault, because that was just the style the team was playing. Like, everybody didn't look good at that point. Like, we were sitting back. Like, to make a point of saying certain players during a defense, basically sitting back and parking the bus in your half. Literally, does anyone have, a shred of common sense, a shred of like realizing the situation? Like, I don't understand. And we get into um, those moments at the end, and it's like, why are we shocked? Why are we actually shocked? And just to name some players, I mean, the bench situation is the bench situation. Like I said, we don't have Chiesa. Artur, is he, really fit enough? Maybe you could say, to put him on. We have Portanova, who didn't look great in that one game that he started. We have Dragusin as a defender, but really at that point, Demiral and Bonucci, I think, were all right. I wouldn't say they were amazing. I think they did a decent enough job to keep us at 1-0. But defensively as a team, we were lacking. We were letting Lazio do whatever the hell they wanted. And let's get into this lineup now. And I'm just going to read these off from what I wrote down, because I have them a little different, unfortunately, on my laptop. Obviously, Tech in goal, no surprise. Then we got Danilo, Bonucci, Demiral as the three at the back. Which, again, guys, I don't know if you want to take this as a 4 or 3. Essentially, we're playing with 4 on the defensive side. So again, does Juve get like a kick out of throwing 600 formations on, like, oh, we get to use a new graphic today, let's line it up like this? Like, guys, it's stick with some consistency. Then we got the 4 obviously being Frabotta, Rabiot, Bentancur, and Quadrado. Kulusevski, they said, was the trequartista, but I thought he was moving around all over the place. You could easily have said he was on the right wing, right mid, various spots throughout today. But that was pretty much it. Lazio in a 3-5-2. Radu, Acerbi, Luis Felipe as their center backs. Reina in goal. Again, they don't have Strakosha, which I thought was a big loss for them, even though it wasn't necessarily the reason why they conceded on the Ronaldo goal. Then they have Fares, Luis Alberto, Cataldi, Milinkovic-Savic, and Maruzic on the right side. Correa and Muriqi, who's from Fenerbahce, new signing from them. But obviously that means that Immobile isn't playing. And also someone who isn't slotted in there is Lucas Leiva, who's another big loss for them. So again, we're not playing, not to say that this Lazio side wasn't, a good side, but it wasn't the best that they could get. What did you think about the formation? Obviously we're hampered, but what do you think about how we're playing offensively and defensively? And do you like who the selection was today?
Today I didn't have much of a problem with the lineup, considering the injuries that we had and the players out. Pirlo, he made the same kind of formation he's going to, where we had starting at 3-back and then moved to a 4-4-2 in the game. I thought defensively, the Danilo again has been probably one of our most impressive players this season. And offensively, I felt we were pretty strong going forward. But Rabiot and Bentancur in the midfield, I felt were one of the low points for the game, since they weren't able to control the game through tough, most of the times. And Milinkovic-Savic was a big outclass compared to them. Rabiot was good in the air. He didn't let much go through him, but I felt Bentancur was very wasteful and sloppy during his passes and let the ball go into our half too many times than it should have.
Yeah, and speak of these fullbacks, and I actually thought Frabotta did really well today. I don't think there should be any doubt in this kid again until he makes a massive world blunder. But literally, there should be no issues putting him as a left back, Danilo as a right back, and Quadrado getting off the face of the earth. But again, Quadrado he didn't have a horrible game. I'm not gonna, shit talk him every game. But again, defensively, we all know he's got his errors. And if you don't want to admit that, and you just want to look at the one side that he makes the one cross every 3 games, then that's fine. You can do that. That's your opinion. You're free to say that. But Frabotta, I think, was good. Rabiot, I think, was decent. I agree though that like he did make some good plays, take some good shots and runs, but again, yeah, I think there was we were missing almost that 3. We needed that
I
3.
agree.
We needed that extra guy where the 2, and even though I wasn't liking our mids making those runs because we have a guy in Dybala that is now forced to come back, but we won't get into that because he obviously didn't start the game. Let's look at some of the match stats before we get into the minute by minute. I think this is going to be the minute by minute is going to be the thing you guys are waiting for. So let us know if you get to that point. Again, drop in the comments where you guys are from, questions, comments. Please smash the like button. Please smash the subscribe. Let's get us to 100 subs, guys, and let's get that watch time up. And let's continue on. So Juve had 46% possession in this game, and I know a lot of that was because we were sitting back in the second half. I thought there was good points at the beginning of the second half. First half, I think we weren't intense at all. At certain points at the start, wasn't the intensity we needed. So Lazio takes 54% of the possession. In terms of shots, 11, 5 on goal for us, 14 on goal, or 14 for them, 4 on goal for them. Now, something I noticed, last few games, you've been hitting over 500 passes. So I hope this isn't a trend. We were just short at 498. I think we made about 402 successfully at 88%. And Lazio was at 578 with 86.9% pass accuracy. Now, the reason why I mentioned is because this new setup and this way we've been wanting to play is all hinging on, being able to make the right pass at the right time. Unfortunately, 88 I still think is pretty good. But the sheer numbers of being almost 100 passes less in the game just shows, who was really moving the ball. Now, I think we moved the ball well in a lot of situations. We were very wasteful, and we'll get into that in a minute. But, yeah, I don't know what the zone was on. Is that who you used for, or are you in the ESPN Plus game?
No, I was using ESPN Plus.
So I don't know if you noticed this at the beginning of the game, but the zone was literally like it was showing the Atalanta game. Like it was literally just showing an empty stadium for like the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, they did that at the start.
Okay,
of the game as well.
So you got that as well. Okay,
yeah,
I was like, and I saw the time going, and I'm like, is this a glitch? So the zone, fix your shit. Serie A, fix your shit. That's unacceptable. But anyways, first 2 drives from Lazio, we were really poor. They were passing at will, moving the ball around, moving in the box. No pressure, no real press. Way too easy. Way too easy for a team that's good enough to score against us and is good enough to take advantage of their chances. That's initially. Then we get into the 6th minute. Again, another Lazio easy counterattack. Fullbacks, again, way too high. Okay? If you're going to have guys that high, you have to have a common ground. I keep saying this. Like, you can't be all out and you can't be all defensive. Like and to me, 7 games in, and Pirlo hasn't really, moved that needle where it's like we're way too high and anything, they just kick the ball. They can literally just kick the ball and kick and run, and they're finding the passes and they're countering on us. Do you find? Is it just me, Anthony, or are you seeing this as well?
Yeah, I agree. Compared to other seasons where we look so organized in defense, and now you look at it now. I feel like the defense is extremely exposed when the other team are attacking us. And I think, like you said, that when the fullbacks are high, this is one of the reasons causing it.
Yeah, and I think they just get caught. They get too involved. And I don't know if it's just this new mentality of they're thinking, oh, they have to stay up. It's like you have to use your sensibility and know that if the ball's not going to go there, you got to start coming back. Because of any mistake, any loss of the ball, they pick our pocket, they're gone, they're going the other way. And it literally happened like about 60 times in this game. This was my and again, I'm gonna simp to Alexandro, but this is why I can understand, playing him and he was mentally sharp. As much as people were shitting on him, he knew when to come back, or he knew maybe not to go up. Like, that's what I like, because everybody was like, oh, we need wingers to be bombing down the left or right. And you look at today where we still only put in 1 goal. And the possibility to concede was very high. And sure, we had a lot of chances. We'll get into those, but it's just too high of a risk and not enough of a reward to be playing that all out, pushing up front. And Cuadrado seemingly fell asleep a lot of the time this game, where he'll be like, "Oh, okay," and then he'll just try and sprint back, but it's too late. They're playing the ball, and Lazio was sloppy as well. They messed up a lot of chances as well. They could have capitalized on. So it was kind of a tale of mistakes on both ends. 8th minute, Ronaldo with a bad shot, pull up, indecisive again. Guys, if you're gonna go start naming players, look at the guy who's getting paid the most, because someone was saying, well, you got to apparently Aryan, the guy that is a known Cristiano fan, and literally is harping on Dybala again. Horrible takes. Is talking about, yeah, well, you got to look at your best players. Okay, multiple times this game, Ronaldo inconsistent, indecisive, not knowing to do with the ball, shots that were average at best, and literally scores a tap in. So who's making the most money and who are we directing our criticism at? You can't keep resting on the laurels of scored 7 goals when you got knocked out against Lyon and you got knocked out against Ajax. You can't rest on that till the cows come home. That's not how it works. Okay. This is progressive in how we look at players. So if sure you want to say Dybala, I can admit Dybala isn't looking good. But again, this was in the game for him to really make the difference the way we played that style. So we continue on. 10th, easy pickpocket. No one's running back. And so again, literally what I speak goes into what I write. 15th minute, Bentancur with a nice ball to the right to open Cuadrado. I thought that was the great ball. And then again, like I said, Cuadrado, nice cross into Ronaldo, tap in 1-0. Easy peasy. What does Juve do? After every goal, like literally seems like every good action we make this year, let's sit back and invite pressure right away. Again, Lazio in the 20th minute had a really scary chance, easily crossing into the box. I believe it was Muriqi that barely got a foot on it.
Yeah,
pretty much could have been a tap in. It was a header, and then obviously he just missed connecting on it to put it in. So again, we're scathed of that one. Again, sitting back on a 1 goal, and this is again without intensity, without pressure. 25 minutes into a game that you need to prove something because you really haven't played anyone this season. You haven't played Napoli. You haven't played. You look shit against Roma, who's now ahead of us, and everyone was shit talking Roma, and now they're ahead of us. So just recall who you guys like to, you guys like to banter on Twitter, but just stay in our lanes. So again, 24, still inviting pressure. 26, again, Ronaldo step overs, loses the ball, and he had Frabotta making a perfect run that he completely missed. Again, Ronaldo fans won't talk about that. Juve fans literally that are blind won't talk about that. But again, we continue. 30th minute, Lazio walking around us. I rate Vergogna. Pretty much the same thing. Ronaldo, 36th minute with a miss again. Then in the 42nd, he gets a nice shot off the bar, but again, not connecting. So let's hear the chatter. Let's hear it in the Twitter feed, in the Twitter sphere. Kulusevski, great driving run in the 46th minute. From the right, draws the foul, and Ronaldo puts a decent free kick, but Reina, no problem for him. And then we get to halftime. What I like I said, what I liked, 47 minutes. We have nice intensity. Bentancur shot, testing the goalkeeper. I mean, sure. He was a little reckless. I know he got that yellow card. And then, again, that was something I worried about. Pirlo didn't take him off. That's for a guy that knows to pick up cards and to leave him on. That was a risk, I guess. He was lucky we got away with that. 51st minute. Juve had the advantage after Kulu got basically steamrolled. Ronaldo wastes the ball again, tries to cross it, not even close. But again, that won't be talked about. 56th minute. Great work by Morata. Again, I thought he was really good with his work rate and holding up the ball, making runs, deciding when to go through defenders, picking up fouls from Lazio. CR7 cross, not good enough again. 57th minute, Rabiot, nice tackle, leads to a run, and a great shot from the left. Basically, there's kind of a deflection. I guess you guys don't know what I'm talking about. It gets to Ronaldo. Ronaldo gets the ball back after the rebound. He puts it into the middle with Morata basically covered by 4 guys. So again, the GOAT decision making. This is what we're talking about. Like, this is why I love our fans. Like, our fans will literally defend this till but we'll have no problem slating a guy who's coming back off of. Anyways, fuck me. Ronaldo again, 64th minute again with Kulusevski, a great run, perfect ball to Ronaldo. Waits too long as always, and instead of taking the shot or even putting it back across, I believe it was Luis Felipe. Basically makes a nice tackle, nothing out of it. 67th minute, again, Ronaldo stepovers on the right, cross literally to no one. No one talks about it. 71st minute, Bentancur foul on a yellow, and that's the moment I'm like, we're 70 minutes in, and I want your opinion on, you know, who maybe he could have brought on. Maybe we didn't have the chance to, but even if you got to bring in Bernardeschi early, I mean, we're on again, and we were risking a lot, but still no subs in the 73rd minute, man. Like, there was an instant where Lazio, but anyways, I want to get your take on the substitutions and just, you know, what were you seeing up to the 70th minute? Do you agree with kind of my analysis? I know I'm being hard on Ronaldo, but it's like the amount of defense that this guy gets, and if that's the case, if you're gonna take all the praise, you gotta take the blame when you're not scoring, man. Like, this game easily could have been put out of reach. And I could say the same for Lazio. They could have definitely scored. We might not even have won this game. So even what happened in the last minutes, literally, it's like, it doesn't mean shit, guys. Like, this game could have been completely different. So let's hear your takes, Anthony. I'm pissed off.
I definitely agree with I definitely agree with what you're saying on Ronaldo. I think, like, the fan base will say, okay, he scored a goal, but just because the player scores a goal doesn't mean he could be protected for basically the rest of the match with his bad decision making. And just because of what he's accomplished in the past, even with our club, of course, he's had some brilliant moments with us. But that doesn't mean that whenever he makes a mistake, that he could be protected and say, oh, but how about you can't just put the blame on the rest of the team instead of putting the blame on our main forward, which is basically what Pirlo wants to base the team around.
Look, I agree that you said that perfectly. And I think the team as a whole was shit, to be honest. We did not deserve to win the game. Draw, I think, is fair on both sides. But this is how it sounds. This is how it comes off when I have to hear about fucking Dybala. It's the same, like, nitpicking. And, you know, I hope you Ronaldo fans are on here to hear this, because it's like, this is what it sounds like 24/7 with every other player on this team. And look, you can fact check these. Go to every minute I talked about and find exactly what I'm talking about. And literally, you hear this excuse: oh, they're not putting the ball on his foot enough. This, that. It's like, God, like, honestly, the excuses have run out. Okay. And people were talking about giving this guy an extension for what? Like, for I don't know what we're talking, and they want to ship a guy that's younger, like that, and we extend Ronaldo to have no value at that point, like, because we need to pay our debts off. Like, honestly, this club is gonna make me lose my head. Anyway, 76th minute, finally, praise the Lord. Dybala on, Ronaldo off, because obviously of the injury, he connected with Luis Alberto. No,
Luis
Luis
Alberto.
Alberto, he
Yeah.
connected, and they both eventually went off. But in the 76th, and then McKennie coming off for Kulusevski. Now, Kulusevski, I thought, played pretty decent with some of the runs he made. I think, again, from what we saw from that moment on, was a literal sitting back and parking the bus for the rest of this game. So for anyone to say, "Oh, Dybala," literally, we had 10 behind the ball. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know what, and bringing on McKennie was just, shoring up a guy to win the ball, maybe try and push a little bit. So again, it wasn't horrible, right? You could tell what the team was trying to do at that moment. But again, we're sitting back. 80th minute, Dybala is at the top of our box, guys. The top of our box, coming back to defend. But then all of a sudden, we get on Twitter that he's not playing well. Oh, he's got to pick it up. What do you want him to do with when we're playing 10 behind the ball? Like, what do you actually want him to do? Please drop it in the comments. I need to know. And I'm going to this is the question that's going to go on Twitter. What do we need Dybala to do when we're parking the bus? I really want to know this, because I don't know what people are seeing when they're watching these matches. So the team's sitting deep. We're asking for trouble. And I think these are garbage tactics. We complained about it in the past. Now all of a sudden it was acceptable today. It wasn't acceptable. It's ridiculous. 84th minute. And you looked like when we did have the opportune chance, McKennie gave a ball to try and lock Dybala. It was kind of a chip, and the Lazio defender kind of he intercepted it. I mean, there was times, but there's complacency setting in. Obviously, 87th minute, Bernardeschi comes on for Morata. Morata seemed to pick, maybe he had a knock or he wasn't feeling it, so that's the only reason why he made, that sub. And I didn't think it was a horrible idea. You try and get a guy with leg, even though, again, I'm not a fan of Bernardeschi. People were coming out of the woodwork to slander Dybala and come up with defenses of Cuadrado, Bernardeschi, Danilo, but barring this year, he was a ghost of himself the past from whenever we bought him. So I don't even want to even hear, Danilo is getting given shit. Yeah, he was given shit because he deserved it. He picked up a fucking red card after when we were down a defender, if you recall correctly, and he made two stupid challenges. But don't forget that one, guys. Don't forget that one. 90th minute. And then, so I'm looking I'm watching this game for a second time. Like I said, I was probably half asleep. So when I wake up in the morning and go and meet up with my family, and I'm looking at Twitter and I'm going through and I'm taking a barrage of hits from the liberals and the Democrats, and I'm seeing the freaking the Juve fans turn on Dybala again, and I'm like, did I miss something? Did I really? Maybe I was half asleep. I don't know. Maybe maybe I passed out momentarily. Maybe I woke. I don't know. So I'm going slow and steady in this 90th minute. We start Dybala with a smart retention, cross over to the other side to Frabotta. We hold on to the ball. Perfect. Because again, we're defending a 1-0 lead. Let's take that into account. Then again, Dybala loses the ball right after, but Smart blocks it. We get the ball back, and he puts it back across to I can't remember who it was, but we retained the ball. Then there was a nice outlet, or I think there was a nice outlet to Rabiot, and we kind of moved it around and held on to the ball again. Perfect. Dybala with a beautiful ball to Bernardeschi was a little bit too much. Whatever, that's fine. Again, we're holding this 1-0 lead. Okay. 94th minute. Now, you guys, let's take this slow. 94th minute. We're in our half. The ball is on our right side. Again, right side looking down to the Lazio end. McKennie wins the ball back. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to hold on. Nothing. Gives the ball to Dybala. He gets a little overexcited. He tries to pull the ball and go for a run. Okay, he double hits it, or he hits it, and he knocks it into the touchline. And Lazio gets a throw-in. Okay. Throw into Lazio. This is beautiful because literally from just that mistake, you've attributed this whole going in that's about to happen on Dybala. Okay. Throw into Lazio. I don't know who was throwing the ball in. I'm guessing it was maybe it was Pereira or maybe it was what's his face that got subbed in. One of their defenders. One of their wingers.
Mhm.
Throws the ball in perfectly to Correa. We have Bentancur and Cuadrado 2-on-1, and he splits both those motherfuckers. That was not mentioned at all this morning, except a good piece by Al. And sure, he did give the blame to Dybala a little bit. Sure, you got to be smarter than that. Maybe kick it down the field. Whatever. Literally, no one said that. That's one. Next thing, we get Demiral and Rabiot in the box. That is the next two line in defense. Literally beats both of those motherfuckers. They're playing soft. They were playing soft as shit. Make the fucking tackle. You got two guys on one. Okay? And they still were beat. Let's them put the ball through to Caicedo. You look at Bonucci again, soft covering. What are we surprised? What are we shocked? Lets him turn, and he buries it into the corner. Ew. How is that Dybala's fault? Literally, if you need to play that back again, play it back again. Tell me where in that sequence, besides giving up the throw-in, is that Dybala's fault? Literally, man. Please, I want your take on this because I literally, caught up again. We couldn't I pushed the time back that we did this podcast, but like, I don't know. What do you think, man? Like, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you said it really well. That Dybala in that play, it was not like even okay. He could have done better with that ball. Right. He could have held it or cleared it. Whatever you would have said that he could have done that. But then you have a throw in. Inzaghi tells them exactly where to throw it. He's an open man on Correa, even though he's being defended by Bentancur and Cuadrado. So he goes right in between them. No intensity by our defense. He goes past two more players. Then you have Caicedo being marked by Bonucci and McKennie right next to him. Easy pass into him and a goal. And then it's like Juventus players, they just look like they were absolutely defeated right after. They like no intensity. At the end, they just looked like they were going to sit back and the win would have been gifted to them. But that's not how you have to play with intensity for the whole game, not just the first half.
And honestly, man, that's all she wrote. Literally, that's on Pirlo. I mean, we've been soft as shit defensively for 4 games now. No changes. No tightening up, no, holding back. And look, even we're parking the bus, and they're still moving in between us. I didn't even mention, they probably had 3-4 other chances I didn't even mention in that before the 94th minute. And this is what our fans are pinpointing. A guy and comparing it to fucking Evra. Like,
yeah, come on. That was crazy.
Literally. Even Evra in that situation, it's the same thing, okay? But the only thing is he didn't put the ball out. Evra put the ball up the field, and they still came back. So if Dybala does that, and the same fucking thing works out where we're not, again, it's still going to come down to him. So guys, literally the fan base has gone to, they've lost their marbles. I don't know what you guys want. I really don't. And I think a lot of you don't deserve the fucking Champions League, but we're so like you literally won't back your team. I thought Ronaldo was decent. I think I would not blame him for the loss. Even though I mentioned a lot of spots that he could have been clinical, and that's something he's got to improve on. But nowhere to say it was Ronaldo's fault. Nowhere near to say it was Dybala's fault. This was a team loss, and the team's got to get better. Whether we like it or not, whether you want to slander Dybala or not, this team is not winning Champions League. This team, I don't even know if we're winning Scudetto because we're not good enough right now. And Pirlo's got to rectify this. Again, more questions he's got to answer. I thought we were on the right direction after those last 2 games. 2 good, decently solid 4-1 wins. But we had stuff to improve. We didn't improve it. We faced a better team. let's hope this break does something. I don't know what else to say, my friend. Literally, we're an outrage fan base now. We get way too high when we win. We get way too low when we lose. Literally, I got Turin Giants saying when we can judge fucking tactics and not. I got Aryan saying that Dybala's protected after what I just explained to you. What are we protecting? What are we protecting? The team was shit, awful on a sequence. They scored. So we got that. Then we got some actual, intelligent people. We got people, saying, you know what, team's been bad. Perfect post. Shout out all Juve cast. Thanks for coming on the 50. Literally, guys, we deserve this. And the fans deserve these shit scenarios because we walk into the and we try and find scapegoats and we try and look at who can we blame today, and then we defend mediocre talents. We defend the Bernardeskis. People were even defending Khedira. You think Khedira has the legs? Are you serious? Fuck me, man. Like, what are their fans watching? Like, get it off the towel. Get off your phone during the game. Watch the fucking games. Like, it's not that different. We're not talking rocket science. We're talking calcio. This is basics. Basic defending. Basic attacking. Like, we're not. They barely could figure out how to go from a fucking 4-5-2 or a 4-4-2 to a fucking 3-5-2 or a 3-4-1-2. We're still doing it. Keep the same formation. Make it simple. These are easy things to do. We talk about it. Multiple people are saying this. You've mentioned it. Others have mentioned it. Knowledgeable fans. But like, we literally have to sit, and it's like this whine, like every game about, Dybala's not 100%. When he was literally, I guarantee you, they told him on the sidelines, just go out there and, win the balls back, be smart, don't give up position too much, press when you can, come back and help. That's what Del Piero was asked for a lot of the times. And he did the same thing too. But, when we're giving, Del Piero never got just as much, was wanted to be sold. Like, come on, guys. Like, I don't know. I literally got Hashim shit takes. Aryan's the next one. Turin Giants telling people what they want. Bitching about social media 99% of the time. We got our other friends saying, "Oh yeah, now all of us are simping. Oh yeah, Dybala, he isn't playing that well." Like, what are you watching? Shake your heads, man. Maybe take this international break. Go to the spa, get a massage, clear your heads. Maybe get your eyes checked. Do what you got to do and prepare for this night, because it doesn't get any easier. Okay, this is only going to be harder and harder. And to say we're going to play like this and beat Barcelona in the Camp Nou, good luck with that. Kiss that fucking goodbye right now. Kiss that goodbye. But anyways, just some final words from yourself, Anthony. Appreciate you putting up with me this whole podcast.
No problem.
But give it to us straight, man.
Yeah. I like how you said. I think the fan base is really like overreacting mostly and making one player scapegoat, just how they have been for many seasons. And I don't think it's going to change. You always got new fans, that they like to call themselves fans, coming in that support the team for one player. Well, Ronaldo fanboys, and they don't watch the game, but they come on Twitter and then they look what other people are saying about Dybala and then they say, "Oh, okay, Chiellini, Bonucci, Buffon, all these players need to go because the past of Juventus needs to go because the history of Juventus isn't going to help us going forward at all." And I think it's really shameful to see people talking about our club like that.
And you said it perfectly. We have no culture. We have no presence. I mean, Buffon, again, Chiellini picked up a knock in training. Some people were saying, I really hope, I know a lot of people are saying he's done. Again, played him way too early. Frabotta could have played that game against Ferencváros. Why are you risking Chiellini? He was not ready. So I hope we don't do this now with Delict because we think now we need a boost in defense. We do this with Alexandre and play him for fucking 15 games in a row. How is this not common sense? Like, I don't know, Anthony, man. Like, no morals, no values, no integrity, nothing with this club. This club is a shell of itself. There's no leaders. People were saying in the Spezia game, Ronaldo came on with leadership. What the hell did he do in that last minute? Like, did you actually watch those minutes? What? Because he he scored a penalty that he didn't win. What are you celebrating? What the fuck are you actually celebrating? Like, it's, oh my god, man. Like, I knew I was gonna have one of these podcasts. If it wasn't going to be after the Spezia one, I knew it was going to be today. I just the way I saw Twitter going, I knew it was going to be a shit show. And we're going to get to 3 up, 3 down. The only polemic that really I saw was the handball from, what people thought was a handball against Rabiot. Perfectly tucked his hands. I think there was no issue not giving that penalty. But 3 down, to be honest, I don't even want to do this. I think the whole team should fucking go 3 down. I think I'm going to say some players that I thought were good. Frabotta showed he can play with the boys. Rabiot was decent. Bentancur, I think, was okay, but needs some improvement. Cuadrado was, I thought, okay. Good cross into Ronaldo. Bonucci, not strong enough. Too shaky. Demiral, I thought was okay. But I thought the partnership was okay. Who else do we got? Because I don't want to give ratings. I don't want to cut. I think there's enough of that out there right now, and I think the guys who are actually doing ratings now do a damn good job. So I'm not gonna jump on that anymore. I kind of stopped doing it after the end of the season. But what else do we got? What else do we got on this team?
Danilo,
strong as always. I would say he's probably one of the top 3. Kulusevski, I thought, did a good job. Szczesny, I think, is always good for now. Morata, I thought, was really good. Ronaldo needs to be more clinical, but I don't think he had a horrible game, but I think he has to be more clinical. Look at the subs. Bernardeschi, not enough to judge. Dybala did what he was asked. Wasn't like what everyone's saying. Wasn't at fault for the goal. McKennie, I think, was okay. Had a couple mistakes, but also, again, coming on to sit back. I think they did fine. We need to be more, 1, clinical. 2, we need more intensity after this break. We need to start pressing more, and we need to stop acting. If we want to go into this attacking minded, moving the ball around, making runs, playing an offensive style, we got to get away from this bullshit sitting back. Okay. If we pumped in 3-4 goals, it wouldn't have, this game, that ending wouldn't have even mattered. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you have 3 bottom, 3 that would go down, 3 that would go up? It's up to you, buddy. I'm just
3 the worst players today. I mean, even though Bonucci was decent, I would put him down because not strong enough on defense. At times made some of the same mistakes we've been seeing, and you could put him at fault for the 94th minute goal. Cuadrado is all right. Bentancur, I mean, like, all players were really, like, not at the top of their game today, so it's hard to pick 3 of the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Bentancur because of how many times that he passed the ball back into our half instead of trying to influence a forward attack and kind of being wasteful.
Good point.
And I mean, even as hard as it is to put Ronaldo on the worst players, like, he could have been the one to push the team to make it a 3-4-0 win.
Exactly. And
so
that's the lead. Perfect. That's the leadership you need. If you're going to talk about leadership and you're going to use that as your argument, I got to see it. Okay. I can't just talk about it and say, oh, look at, he's the great motivator. Look at the Instagram tweet posts he makes. And look, he really wants to drive this team. I didn't see that today. Did you see that today? I didn't.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it at all. I saw step overs. I saw selfish play. I saw missing free runs. What do you want me to say, guys? Like, do you want me to lie and be like, you know what, guys? We should have given Ronaldo another 6 balls right on his foot, right, so we can tap him in. You know, we didn't do that. So the rest of the team was horrible, but Ronaldo was A1 today, guys. Is that what you want me to come out and say? Is that what you want actual Juve fans? Or do you want to get down to business, find out what we're lacking, and hope that this team improves? Again, we can say all we want, but the team's got to improve. The team's got to do the work. You know, I can't go to Continasa or to even Vinovo when they were there and say, come on, guys, like, let's go. This is what you got to improve on. I don't get to the opportunity. I mean, if Juve wants to call me up, I'll be on the plane tomorrow. But if they don't, that's all I can just bitch to the camera. That's it. So, but who are your top 3, boss, if you had to? Thanks for playing along. We'll get into the comments next, but go ahead.
All right. Top 3, I would say Danilo, strong going forward, didn't play any like really bad passes, and also strong in influencing the defense. I would say Morata, based on his playmaking ability, a good vision, was trying to get the team going forward. And then it would have to be one of Rabiot or Frabotta, because I liked how both of them played. Frabotta played really well going forward. And he was trying to track back. And Rabiot, he was probably the strongest midfielder out of the two, if you consider Kulusevski a third. Okay. Winning balls in the airs, I would say it would have to be either Rabiot or Frabotta.
Yeah. Well, look, I think there's many ways you could have, you know, who you wanted to pick, who you wanted to like. But, you know, I agree. I respect those choices. But let's get into this is where I have a problem too. So we look into what Pirlo's saying after the match. And, you know, he says, I'm happy with the game, but not with the result. Okay, fine. We're always working to improve. Every game, we always need to put ideas on the pitch. Okay, perfect. Let's remember that we're also without some of our players. That's where I take the exception. This is the second time now that he's mentioned fucking players.
Yeah.
You told us, and again, Al mentioned this perfectly. Go back and check on the 50th episode, guys, and watch all the episodes. Get Frankie some love on that episode there. Way too these videos underviewed, especially with these amazing guests that we have on, including yourself, Anthony. But
thank you.
Again, second time, from a guy that came out before the season and said, I don't put the I don't force players into different situations. I use what I have at my disposal in the right way. Okay, so do it then. Don't say, if you can change the formation, if you have no set formation and we can play however we fit it to the players that we have, why are you bitching about players not being injured? What is that all about? And then he goes, but these must not be excuses. Then why are you saying it?
Yeah,
like don't say it. You can't be like, yeah, you know what? We're not really playing that, but what? Don't say the statement. So again, we're trying to conduct this kind of football, and as we have seen today, we have many solutions. Danilo's done very well. I agree. Ronaldo's fundamental. I agree. We've been way too reliant on him, though. We need way more contribution from the rest of the team. That's another major thing that we didn't really touch on. But those who entered did well too. We must improve in holding the ball, but overall we are satisfied. Dybala came in willingly. It happens to be not very well. He wants to play. These situations need to be better managed. Okay, a kicking out of the ball, sure. But let's forget the 4 fucking... So you could have come out there and say, you know what? This is how a leader and a coach should come out. You know what? Actually, it wasn't Dybala's fault. We had 2-3 situations there. We didn't really defend. We could have stopped that. Even with the situation, we had Cuadrado and we had Bentancur on the ball. They let a guy go around them. That's what a coach has got to say, okay? Especially a guy that you know doesn't have confidence. That's what you got to come out in the media and say. Back your guy that's supposed to be the one bringing us up there with Ronaldo, okay? Like that's horrible. And maybe that's a wrong translation. I don't know, but that's shit. We need malice and the desire to win, to achieve these results, to win championships. You don't have to give up nothing. I agree, but show us. Make sure our players are in that mentality. Don't just say it. There's too much lip service I'm getting right now. He's saying all the right things, but again, so people didn't like how Sarri talked, but we got what we got. People like what Pirlo, like what Allegri, but then they never did anything. Like Allegri had all this, like, oh, you don't have to play nice, all do this bullshit, talking about the calcio and philosophy, and then he goes and sits back at home against Real Madrid. That's lip service, dude. Show your actions. You know, just because you had 3 games where you made the right subs doesn't mean you're now all of a sudden it gives you the right. Like not enough common sense. Fans, I don't know what they think. But anyways, too much lip service. He needs to get it right. The strings, again, we were loosening up the strings after this 4-1. Now we're tightening the strings again. Again, he talks about the head is the most important thing, which I'm assuming he's referring to Dybala. If you go on the pitch with not so positive attitude, you get bad performances. Too bad for the result we deserved, but overall, I'm satisfied with the performance. Again, wrong thing to say in the media. Federico Chiesa wasn't able to play in the last second. That's fine, whatever. Giorgio Chiellini is injured. Both Alexander and Matthias de Ligt are out, but these can't be excuses. Again, oh my God, fucking whatever. Bonucci made some comments. We played 93 minutes and 45 seconds as Juve. We were solid in the defensive phase and aggressive in front. I don't know 100% of that. Lazio had 0 chances. Then a ball that we could manage better. We conceded because we were not focused. Perfectly said. But again, 0 chances. I don't know about that. They had a lot of chances they could have capitalized on. We have to improve absolutely in finishing out chances. There are moments where you can risk something. Others where the ball has to be kicked out of the stadium. Sure, whatever. Lazio didn't worry us in those 15 seconds. They scored too easily. We didn't risk anything against a team that creates great opportunities. We created 3 or 4 chances to score goals, but in order to win and be a complete team, these games must be won. That's facts. But you also are forgetting that they did have chances to score, and they had about 3 or 4 chances as well. So, I mean, sure, if you want to say, okay, we were defensively, we're okay at times, let them have the ball way too much. And again, during that last minute, we were clearing balls out, not to say that we weren't, but again, there was a lapse in judgment by the whole team, and that's why it's a 1-1. I think deservedly. So, any kind of thoughts on the press conference, Anthony, of obviously the after comments of the coach and Bonucci?
Yeah, I mean, I think what was said was, I mean, there wasn't much to say after this. What they did say that I liked from Pirlo, I liked how he said that, the game starts with the head and referring to Dybala, but I wish that he would have talked more on not putting the blame on one player like you said he should have, and putting the blame on more the whole team, and we need to improve. Yeah. I did not like that he said again, okay, yeah, we were missing players, but as a top team, you can't use that tier as an excuse. When you have a big wage bill and a big team compared to everybody else and the teams you're playing, Lazio, we're missing 3 key players. And you didn't see any complaining after the game from Inzaghi. That's the mentality you got to have, which we don't have right now.
And those were key players, like we mentioned before. Yeah. It's not like those were subs. Those were starters. And again, you're filling in perfectly, Anthony, with those comments. No excuses. I don't know what you expect. This is coaching. This is not FIFA. Again, that's another sect of our fans, or the FIFA mentality, where it's just let's just do whatever we want, and we can throw this in. Anyways, let's look forward, not behind. Again, there's lots to improve. We know that. We're gonna have a little bit of a break, and we're not going to be back, I believe, until the 21st or 22nd with a game against Cagliari. And I believe, when is that? Is that at home? Yes, it is at home. So we're back at home, and I think we've talked a lot about how we need to improve. I want to ask you this, though. Let's say we're getting the majority of our players back. Maybe Chiellini's not back. We'll say de Ligt will be 100%. Alexandro 100%. Who else do we got? Chiesa will be back. How are we lining up? How do you want to see this team line up after the break?
All right. Well, on Twitter, I voiced my opinion. I would love to see a 4-2-3-1 with Alessandro and either Demiral, Bonucci, Delict, Szczesny, Danilo, Artur, one of Rabiot, Bentancur, and McKennie for defensive stability from CDM. I would like to see Dybala in the middle cam to go forward, Ronaldo on the left, and then either Chiesa, Kulusevski on the right, and then Morata on top. That would be, for me, my ideal formation.
Yeah, I think that would be sweet.
Yeah.
I really think that would be awesome. I think we got a lot when everyone's healthy. We should have a lot of options. I like that. I think we should, if we're using either Artur or Bent. Like, I would love to play them both. That would be awesome. I think they've actually done really well as the holders of the ball when they've had the chance. So that's kind of comforting to see. But if we're gonna play now, I want Cuadrado on the bench. I'm putting Danilo on the right back, and then again, whoever you want, whatever rotation, whether you want to start Delict and Bonucci, or Delict and Demiral, or Demiral, Bonucci, whatever. Chiellini can throw into that rotation, whatever. Just keep rotating them, keep them fresh, make sure everybody knows their role. That's it. Alexander on the left with Frabotta as his backup. Then we get into, like I said, the midfield, the two. I agree with you. Maybe you can throw McKennie in there if we're in a team that, we might need a little bit more protection, so to speak. And then again, I would put, Dybala, Ronaldo on the left, either Chiesa or Kulusevski on the right, and Morata up top. Or I would play 4-3-3. And the only difference with that would be either whoever you want to hold the ball. So if you want Artur to hold the ball that game, he's the center. You put Bentancur, you put Rabiot beside him. You put Ronaldo on the left, Dybala up top, or Dybala on the right and Morata up top. And then we work in Chiesa, we work in Kulusevski. And I think when you work it like that with a 4-3-3, it allows for guys to come in and play a Cagliari or play a Benevento or play whoever we got to, like some of these low that can take the load, and everybody can kind of be fresh. Now that's what in a perfect world, that's what you want. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see who's 100%. I don't want to rush anyone back in. I definitely don't want to rush De Ligt back in. I definitely don't want to rush Alexandro back in because it's not necessary. Again, hopefully that we can have that full strength lineup against Barcelona. That's really what I'm looking forward to. What else do we got? Well, what do you think about this international break? There's been a lot said. Lockdowns are happening for 2 weeks in a lot of places in Europe. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm honestly not a big fan of the international break at all. Because, I mean, it's like a glorified friendly, basically. And to be playing under these conditions, I think it's crazy that they still go on, especially now that teams are finally getting better and players are finally coming back. And now that players are just being thrown back into the international break, and you're going to see injuries and coronavirus cases. I don't think it's going to be a good situation after.
Yeah, I agree 100%. If it was my perfect world, they would have just kept the break in place. If guys want to like relax, chill out, let them do that. If they want to train with the team, maybe have a reduced practice schedule. Everybody stays home. Everybody chills. Don't worry about it. Obviously, we have it, so life goes on, and we got to deal with the consequences of it. But I personally would have just given it as a holiday. Postpone the Nations League for this year. The only thing that we need to play is those qualifiers for those smaller teams to get in. I think it would be great for them to get in, because I wouldn't say cancel that, because it's a once in a life. I mean, who knows how many times they'll be able to make this Euro in this new format. And it gives teams like Kosovo and Northern Ireland, and I believe Bosnia's in there, or possibly they were in there, and some smaller teams to get into the big dance when these countries never would have a chance before. So definitely let those guys play. But again, we move on. Juve. Italia is going to be playing, and I might have to put some, see how we're playing, and maybe do a couple podcasts whoever, if any of you guys want to join, you're more than happy. We could do 3, 4, maybe 2, 3 people on there and just shoot the shit over the break. But obviously, that's going to be Italia Estonia in Firenze on Wednesday, November 11th. So, guys, if you're interested, that's just a friendly though. Then we get into Group A1, which is really breaking down the Nations League. Poland has a record of 2-1-1 with 7 points. Italy 1-3-0 with 6 points. Netherlands 1-2-1 with 5, so pretty close group. And Bosnia 0-2-2 with 2 points. Okay, so how does this all shake out? Because again, there's a final berth on the line for a trophy. If you want to call it a Mickey Mouse trophy, you can. It doesn't really matter. I mean, to me, the more caps that in a perfect world, in a world with no COVID, in a year that let's say this was the year before, the year after a Euro, you want to have competitive games for your young players, and that final, maybe it doesn't mean anything to some, but it's still valuable minutes before what would be next would be the World Cup. So again, it's useful. Italy's going to be playing Poland on Sunday, November 15th, 2020. I think it's going to be a big game. Me and my buddy Jesse, we're going to be going back and forth at home. I want to check exactly. I forgot to put down where it is. Let's have a look-see. But the next game will be on the road in Bosnia, Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. And if we win both games, we're good. We're going on. That's just the bottom line. It's going to be in Reggio Emilia. So Mapai Stadium, where Sassuolo plays. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. Again, it's going to be a big game. Group decider, I would say. Poland's going to go on to play Holland in the next set of games. So if Italia wins, go up to 9 points, and then I believe all we would need is a potential draw.
Think so.
No, we would need we still need a win. Okay. Because if Holland beats Bosnia, it depends on the Holland Bosnia. If it's a draw, if Bosnia wins or Holland draws that game, then we can all obviously take a draw after beating Poland. But let's just do it right. Let's win both games, get into that final, maybe be able to put a patch on our jersey. Ever since 2006, it's been a little bit of a drought, but I hope to see a lot of the young guys play too. Let them get some minutes. And I know Mancini had COVID. Hopefully he can recover and he can get better. And in time, obviously for the Euro, well, obviously, he is an older guy. So you got to be careful. Hopefully nothing but the best, and he recovers 100%. And I believe we just have the one question. Any thoughts on the national team, boss?
No, just hopefully Italy give their best in these 2 games. We could get 2 wins out of these. Past performances from the last international break were a little shaky, so hopefully we get a regroup performance and a little bit of improvement. So, yeah, hopefully we get those 2 wins done.
And that was another, don't freak out after these performances, because really, guys, it doesn't mean shit, okay? Like last time we played, and it was right in, the usual September break, which was essentially after everybody was still kind of chilling from the season previous. And like people are like, what? They're freaking out that we drew Bosnia. And it was just like, guys, like, relax, calm down. We'll be fine. Life goes on. It's just no one was prepared for it, so it is what it is. And let me get this question up. I'm wasting time, but I believe it was from Iskander. Where are we? Who always chimes in. So thanks, boss. I appreciate it. You definitely are always and I can't wait to be on his podcast. I believe it's going to be the same time he comes up for the same potential game. That's going to be around the time we play Parma, so stay tuned to that. We're going to get some great content. Chill in his suite Juve museum that they have for the club of Singapore there, Juve Club Singapore. And I can't wait. We're going to talk about some of the pieces on the wall. You know, we'll talk about the fan club. I'll bring some of my special jerseys out, and we'll just have a good time. Plus, we'll do a couple podcasts, talk about the team, and create some great content for you guys. So, again, thank you guys for everyone who does contribute, even if it's, you know, same day. You guys are always there. But as Kander says, sometimes old-fashioned football does help. You're guaranteed the 3 points away to Lazio. Defense does mean changing an attacker to a more defensive player, but it never happens. Why do we let away total 9 points that should be ours? And I think, yeah, I mean, we've been pretty terrible on the road this season. So what are your thoughts on the woes? I mean, he does mention the woes defensively, right? I mean, we don't get that midfielder coming back and helping out when we have our fullbacks going out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I definitely think that on the road we've been really bad, and we should have, if we just kept a higher intensity during these games, these could have all been winning games.
Yeah.
So if you look back at the draws we had, like, of course you could first start with today's draw. We've talked about it already, but if we could have just kept the defense at a higher intensity at the end, we could have won against this. And then if you look back at the draw against Hellas Verona, you see the team had no intensity basically until we were down. Basically, we had no intensity. This could have been a winning game. Same thing with Roma. The same problem as until we were down, we really had no going forward at all and no motivation to score. So I think it comes down to that.
Yeah, exactly. It's unfortunate, man. Like I always like to say, you know, we hope for the best, but expect the worst, and we've been getting the worst. I mean, you can't. There's no way around it. And when you're looking to add these signature wins, right? You know, against teams like Lazio, we're gonna obviously come up against Milan at some point. I'm guessing a little bit. We're gonna have Barcelona again. We're gonna have Torino. We're gonna have Atalanta. Then after that, Milan, and then Merda, and then Roma again. And then we go again. So literally, there's nothing really signature about this fixtures that we've had. And those are you got to when you go to write your exam, when you go to when the test comes, you got to put up or show or shut up. So we haven't been up to the task, and we deserve to sit in 5th place, and that's about it. I mean, there's nothing to really celebrate about in that sense. But let's hope for the better. Let's hope for the best. I mean, this team is definitely capable of doing that. But yeah, buddy, I appreciate you coming on and just having a little bit of a therapy session, if you want to call that, with me, because we've been trying to pump out as much content as we can, but I really wanted to that whole election threw a wrench in all my plans, and just was anxious throughout the whole week, and wasn't really a happy camper. So I was happy that I got up the content I did. We're gonna try and get Anton back on here at some point, and probably like I said, we got all of this week, so there's lots of time, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the content. Again, like I said, Anthony, thank you for coming on. Check him out. I always forget to do this, but always check him out at _Anthony Juve. And yeah, he's always got great takes, and we're always kind of conversing on Twitter and stuff like that. Guys, again, I always stress it enough. Drop some comments. Please just smash the like button. Please check out these videos. These guys are coming out. They're spending their time with me and hopefully with you guys. So show the love. Even if you want to just pick parts to listen to. I know these are long, and that's why I'm going to be trying my best to putting out some short form content for you guys who are kind of busy and just need that little 1 to 10 minute fix when you can. So I'm really trying to rectify that for you guys. And yeah, thank you for all the support. Follow, subscribe, drop a comment, drop a rating, drop a 5-star if you so feel. iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcast, and the like. Juventinita, DAL, non-politics version coming right up. If you want the politics, at Daniel and Negro, which it seems like you guys are like falling rampantly, and I never post, so go figure. But yeah, thank you guys, and stay tuned for more. We're gonna have content coming out very soon. Like I said, this one will be out. We'll get more podcasts. I got a great lineup of guests that I'm already just looking to my right for, and some names that you know, some names that are brand new, and I hope you enjoy everything. So enjoy these couple weeks. I know it's going to get colder, but as always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus.
Forza
Ciao,
Juve.
guys. Thanks for listening.